Lemuria, The Lost Civilization, video script. Opening hook. Why is there a gaping hole in our collective memory when it comes to one of the most spiritually advanced civilizations in Earth's history? Why is Lemuria, despite its vast legacy, ancient wisdom, and global influence, completely absent from mainstream textbooks, university curricula, and national museums? It's as if an entire chapter of humanity's origin story was surgically removed, and most of us never even noticed. But what if I told you this wasn't an accident? Our introduction to Lemuria. Lemuria, also known as Mu, was more than a myth. It was a thriving, heart-centered civilization, said to stretch across the Pacific long before recorded history. Culture separated by vast oceans from Polynesian to Tamil to Native American. Speak of a lost land where people lived in harmony with the earth and the cosmos. Yet somehow all official records have been erased, discredited, or locked away. Why? In this video, we're going to expose the real agenda behind this historical cover-up. You'll discover who had the most to gain by hiding Lemuria and why its return now, in our time, is no coincidence. By the end of this journey, you might start to wonder, was Lemuria truly lost, or were we simply made to forget? Here's what Lemuria truly was. To understand why Lemuria was erased, we first need to understand what it truly was. Lemuria wasn't just a physical continent, it was a consciousness, a way of being, an ancient blueprint for harmonious living. While Atlantis is often associated with technological advancement and intellect, Lemuria was its spiritual counterbalance, a civilization rooted in the wisdom of the heart, in empathy, intuition, and communion with nature. The Lemurian civilization, according to esoteric traditions and ancient channeled knowledge, Lemuria existed tens of thousands of years ago, possibly predating Atlantis. It stretched across what is now the Pacific Ocean, connecting parts of modern-day Hawaii, Easter Island, New Zealand, Madagascar, and extending into Southeast Asia and South America. Indigenous myths from these places speak of ancestors who came from a land that sank beneath the sea. These aren't isolated stories, they form a global pattern. Or spiritual technology. The Lemurians were highly evolved beings, not in terms of machines or skyscrapers, but in their spiritual technology. They lived in alignment with Earth's natural frequencies and possessed remarkable abilities: telepathic communication, healing through sound, color, and energy, multidimensional perception, androgynous or semi-ethereal existence. Their society was matriarchal or balanced in polarity, emphasizing collective well-being over individual domination. The origin of spiritual teachings. Lemuria is believed to be the origin point of many ancient spiritual teachings that later surfaced in fragmented forms through Hinduism, Buddhism, Gnosticism, and indigenous wisdom systems. The Lemurians understood the unity between all life, teaching that humans weren't separate from the earth, but were its stewards, co-creators in a living, conscious universe. Is why the cover-up. So why doesn't anyone talk about this? Because Lemuria challenges everything we've been taught about linear progress and primitive ancestors. It defies the materialistic view of evolution and the idea that intelligence is solely tied to technology or written language. Lemuria points toward a humanity that was once deeply connected, psychically, emotionally, and spiritually. This is precisely the version of history that dominant institutions have every reason to bury. This ancient wisdom doesn't fit the empire's narrative of conquest, division, and survival of the fittest. It suggests a different origin story, one where humanity began with deep inner awareness and gradually fell into forgetfulness, not the other way around. The evidence hidden in plain sight. Despite the lack of official recognition, Lemuria's fingerprints are scattered across the globe, hidden in myths, etched into megaliths encoded in oral traditions, and buried beneath the oceans. Underwater mysteries. Consider the underwater ruins off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan. These submerged stone formations appear to be remnants of complex structures, massive stone terraces, staircases, and platforms possibly dating back over 10,000 years. While mainstream archaeologists dismiss them as natural formations, those who study lost civilizations see them as evidence of Lemurian influence. There's Easter Island and Pacific legends. Easter Island, Rapa Nui, presents another mystery with its enormous stone moai statues. Many believe these figures weren't just commemorations of ancestors, but energetic conduits connected to the stars. The Rapa Nui oral traditions speak of a sunken homeland in the East, a land of origin that aligns with other Pacific Island myths. Cultural connections in India. Tamil traditions describe the lost continent of Lemuria, Kumari Kandam, as the cradle of Tamil culture and spirituality, submerged after cataclysmic floods. Inexplicable cultural parallels exist between peoples, separated by oceans. Pyramidal structures, sun worship, and serpent symbolism appear across South America, Southeast Asia, and Polynesia. Even language offers intriguing hints. Words in Polynesian and Tamil share phonetic similarities, and the name Mu appears in Mayan cosmology as an ancestral source of wisdom. The systematic suppression, the exclusion of Lemuria, from our history books isn't mere neglect. It's about control. Lemuria represents everything centralized power fears: spiritual sovereignty, intuitive knowledge, feminine energy, and the idea that humans are innately connected to the cosmos and each other. Yitor, religious suppression. During the rise of empires, the dominant narrative was shaped to support hierarchy and obedience. Lemuria's heart-centered wisdom didn't fit the model of a society ruled by kings, popes, and bureaucrats. It threatened to decentralize spiritual authority and return it to the individual. Organized religion had every incentive to bury Lemurian teachings, which included reincarnation, multidimensional awareness, sacred feminine archetypes, and direct communion with the divine, all standing in direct opposition to doctrines demanding submission, guilt, and fear. Scientific materialism. The rise of scientific materialism during the Enlightenment added another layer of suppression. As Western science rejected anything that couldn't be measured or monetized, entire bodies of ancient wisdom were discarded. Even though quantum physics would later hint at the very realities, Lemuria embraced interconnectedness, energy fields, and non-local consciousness. The damage was done. The psychological threat, perhaps most insidiously, Lemuria was erased because it challenged the linear myth of human progress. Our entire worldview assumes we evolved from primitive cave dwellers to modern rational beings. Lemuria flips that narrative, suggesting we began as spiritually aware beings and fell into amnesia. This reversal is dangerous to those in power, because it implies our current world, marked by war, disconnection, and ecological collapse, isn't progress, but deviation from something purer and more harmonious. The return of Lemurian consciousness. Though Lemuria may have been buried beneath ocean waves and veiled in secrecy for millennia, its energy isn't gone. Many believe the Lemurian timeline is returning, not as a civilization rising from the sea, but as a frequency awakening within us. Where sacred sites and awakening, places like Mount Shasta in California, considered a Lemurian stronghold by mystics, have become spiritual pilgrimage sites. Visitors often report visions, telepathic messages, or profound healing experiences. Some believe a group of Lemurian elders still exists in a higher dimensional city beneath the mountain called Telos. The new generation, a growing number of individuals, especially children born in recent decades, display gifts that baffle conventional science. These star seeds or crystal children often feel out of place in modern society, struggle with traditional schooling, and display intuitive abilities like sensing energy fields or communicating with unseen realms. Many report inexplicable memories or dreams of living in a world filled with light, peace, and advanced spiritual knowledge, a world mirroring Lemuria's descriptions, or DNA activation. Some spiritual teachers speak of crystalline DNA lying dormant within us, waiting for a vibrational key to unlock it. Lemurian wisdom is believed to be encoded within this DNA, not just as data but as feeling, knowing, resonance. When awakened, it can restore abilities like deep empathy, telepathy, energy healing, and multidimensional perception. Why now? We're in a time of great transition socially, environmentally, and spiritually. Old systems are collapsing, and a new paradigm is emerging, one emphasizing cooperation over domination, love over fear. Lemuria's frequency is compatible with this new Earth consciousness. Your personal connection, you may be one of the carriers of this Lemurian light. If you've ever felt out of place in this world, had vivid dreams of ancient temples or underwater cities, or sensed there's more to reality than what we're told, you may be remembering. This isn't fiction. It's soul memory rising through the noise of modern life. The question isn't whether Lemuria is coming back. It's whether you're ready to embody it. Conclusion. What if Lemuria was never truly lost but was hidden away, waiting for the right moment and the right people to remember? Perhaps your attraction to these mysteries exists because part of you has always known. The story of Lemuria isn't just about the past, it's about your present and future. It invites you to reconnect with ancient wisdom within yourself, awaken dormant abilities, and reclaim your sovereignty as a spiritual being. The return of Lemuria isn't a distant prophecy. It's a present reality unfolding within and around us. If you're ready to remember, to awaken, and to reclaim your Lemurian legacy, let's build a community of awakened hearts. But what are your thoughts on this ancient wisdom? Have you experienced any of these awakening signs? Share your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into humanity's hidden history.